We are hopping on here to watch day one of the Ali family trial that actually started yesterday. But since they're in Washington, we're going to catch up pretty fast, I think, today. And then at some point when day two starts, we're going to switch over there. So it'll be kind of a quick one. We'll skip through the breaks. I didn't know anything about this entire trial. And when I started reading about it, it seems really interesting. Two parents are accused of trying to do a mercy killing on their daughter outside of her school. There was a big physical fight that went on and people were trying to help her. Thank God she is okay. But yeah, both parents are charged, and it sounds like there's a chance that the mom was only trying to help. I've heard several people say now that the daughter is supposed to testify and will say her mom was just helping. But we'll wait till that happens, so we'll see. Like I said, I have it all ready to go. We'll skip over breaks and their lunches so we can hurry and catch up with everybody. And let me know about if you need the sound louder or quieter. It's still there. It's just taking a minute, and I'm moving myself to the corner. All right, let me skip over this.
Do. And will you please state your name, please? Up to the podium. Good morning. And do you have an oath on file with the Administrative Office of the Courts in Washington?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will make a true interpretation to Mr. Ali and Mrs. Ali of all things said in court, translating them to a language which they understand, and that you would repeat back any statements that they have for the court, translating them to English to the best of your ability?
I do.
And will you please state your name and credentials?
Sure. For the record, my name is Christine Fatouche, Fattouche, certified Arabic language interpreter.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Ms. Stone, any preliminary issues from the state this morning?
No, Your Honor, not from the state. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kading, any preliminary issues this morning?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Kading, do you intend to give an opening statement this morning, or do you intend to reserve?
I will give one, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. O'Leary, any preliminary issues this morning?
Good morning, Your Honor. No,
And do you intend to give an opening statement or reserve?
I intend to give one. Thank you.
Thank you. Please bring in the jury.
So if it wasn't obvious, the mom is all the way to the left and the dad is all the way to the right. I doubt we will see the daughter. She's in high school, so they usually won't show them. very slow jury.
Please be seated. Good morning, members of the jury, and welcome back. As I told you on Thursday, what we are starting with this morning, we'll start with opening statements. So if this time, if you would please give your attention to Ms. Zoe as she makes an opening statement on behalf of the plaintiff, the state of Washington.
Get off of her. Let go of her. Somebody call the cops. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, those were some of the frantic words from numerous Timberline High School students as they watched the defendant, Ihsan Ali, put his 17-year-old daughter, Fatima Ali, in a headlock at the inner city transit bus stop in front of Timberline High School. Those were the same frantic words from the same set of students as they watched Mr. Ali compress Fatima's neck until her eyes rolled into the back of her head, until her face turned pale, and until she lost consciousness. And those were the same frantic words from the same set of students as they watched the defendant, Zahraa Ali, who arrived at the bus stop scene later on, and rather than help her daughter, Mrs. Ali also put her hands and arms around her daughter's neck and compressed and squeezed until somebody was finally able to pull Fatima to safety. During the course of this trial for the next few weeks, you will hear from those students, and they will tell you the following. They will tell you that on October 18th of 2024, the students were going to the IT bus stop in front of Timberline High School after school let out for the day shortly after 2 p.m. They will tell you that when they got to the bus stop, they saw Fatima there, and they also saw her boyfriend, Isaiah, there. The students will tell you that as they were at the bus stop minding their own business and waiting for the bus to show up, Fatima's father arrived. And shortly after his arrival, an argument ensued between Mr. Ali and his daughter, Fatima. The students will tell you that during the course of that argument, Isaiah tried to help Fatima. And as a result of that, Mr. Ali punched Isaiah in the face. You will hear that Mr. Ali punched Isaiah so hard that it caused Isaiah
Still playing. Glitch.
And after that, she and Isaiah ran into the Timberline High School building to seek safety and shelter. Another set of witnesses you will hear from are the school employees, and they will tell you about a no trespass order that was issued against Mrs. Ali, prohibiting her from being inside Timberline High School. They will also tell you about a no contact order that was issued prohibiting Mrs. Ali from having any contact with Isaiah, from having any contact with Isaiah's place of residence, and from having any contact with his school, which was Timberline High School. The school employees will tell you that on October 18th of 2024, a little bit after when school let out at approximately 2 p.m., a frantic and scared Fatima and Isaiah ran into the front office area. And they will tell you that when Fatima ran inside, she was screaming, "My dad tried to kill me." The school employees will tell you that shortly after Fatima and Isaiah ran into the building, Zahraa Ali also ran into the building. The employees will tell you that knowing that Zahraa could not be there, they tried to get Zahraa to leave. Eventually, after Zahraa left the school building, the school employees placed the school on lockdown for the safety of the students. Another set of witnesses you will hear from are the law enforcement officers from the Lacey Police Department. And they will tell you about the investigation that they conducted in this case. They will tell you about the individuals that they interviewed, and they will also tell you about the video footage of the bus stop incident that they received and collected as part of this case. You will in fact get to see the videos for yourself during the course of this trial. And finally, another set of witnesses you will hear from are the medical professionals from Providence. And they will tell you about the effects of strangulation on the human body. They will also tell you about the injuries that they observed on Fatima. You will hear that Fatima had abrasions, she had bruising, and she also had petechia on her neck and on her face. And the medical professionals will also tell you that due to what happened at the bus stop, Fatima was also diagnosed with a condition called pneumomedium sinum, which is in essence when air leaks out of your lungs into other parts of your body. And the medical professionals will tell you that due to what happened at the bus stop, Fatima ended up being admitted to the hospital for several days. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, there will be lots of evidence that will be presented during this trial. You will see lots of photos and you will see many videos. I also ask that you pay close attention to the testimony of the witnesses from the witness stand, because what you will not get when you go back to deliberate is that you will not get their taped statements, you will not get medical records that were in this case, and you will not get the police reports in this case. So I ask that you pay close attention to the testimony of witnesses. And then at the end of this trial, my co-counsel, Heather Stone, will come back before you and deliver her closing argument. And at the end, we ask that you return a verdict of guilty on all charges against both Mr. Ihsan Ali and Mrs. Zahraa Ali. Thank you.
Thank you. Members of the jury, if you will now please give your full attention to Mr. Kading as he makes opening statement on behalf of defendant Mr. Ali.
Hey, good morning. Couple of things. This case is about October 18th of 2024. October 18th, 2024 was not a day like any other day. You're going to hear from witnesses about what happened that day. And I'm going to tell you the day started early, about 4 a.m. You're going to hear Fatima say that she left her house. She ran away from home. She didn't tell anybody. She had never said anything about leaving home. She knew for a fact she was going to be traveling later that day. She didn't talk to her parents about what was happening in terms of her not wanting to go. She didn't make any complaints to them. She just got up early and left the house. Her parents, concerned when they woke up, they called the police and made a report that she had run away. They went out and looked for her. They talked to the police throughout the day. You're going to hear from Officer Hang, who's going to say, yeah, he talked to them throughout the day. They were never told one thing about where she was that day. You're going to hear she was at Timberline High School for most of the day. You're going to hear that she had told people she had run away. But you're also going to hear they never relayed that information to the parents. You're going to hear that Mr. Ali went to the school to look for her. You're going to hear that he was sitting in his car waiting after school to see if he could see her come out. And you're going to see that he saw her. What you're also going to hear is from Isaiah Williams. Isaiah Williams saw Mr. Ali's truck before Mr. Ali saw him. And he said to his friend, when he saw him sitting there, before anything had happened, he said, be ready. It's an unusual statement, but that's what he said. You are going to hear that Mr. Ali had a conversation with his daughter about coming home. He was not yelling, not out of anger at that point. And you're going to hear that Isaiah and Fatima started struggling. Isaiah inserted himself into the situation. He got between mother and daughter. He was going to be, as a 16-year-old kid, the person making decisions, apparently, in this case. You're going to hear him testify that he was punched. But you're going to watch video in this case. And it's very important, the video in this case, because this incident was captured on video in its entirety. People are going to testify to different things, but I want you to be careful about what they say versus what you see. They're different, and you're going to see that. I'm going to ask you to take careful notes of what people say, and I'm going to ask you to carefully watch the videos that are going to come up here, and I'm going to ask you to compare them. You're going to see that credibility is an issue in this case. People don't always remember what's going on. Fortunately, for Mr. Ali and his wife in this case, it's on video. People relayed to the police what they said happened. It's different than what's on the video. So I want you to pay close attention to everything. Next thing we're going to talk about is the medical in this case. You've heard that Fatima had some abrasions, some petechias, those sort of injuries. And you're also going to hear about this pneumomediastinum. Okay? This condition is when you have air in your cavity of your chest. And it happens in different ways. And you're going to hear two main ways it happens. One is puncture injuries. In this case, there was no puncture injury. The other way that it happens is if you have blunt force trauma, the most common way, likely what happened in this case. Blunt force trauma, as was explained, and the doctors will tell you, causes this injury because if you hold your breath and then you hit the ground, your lungs are like a balloon. And if you hit the ground, sometimes that balloon will pop. So if you hold your breath, it's going to pop. If your mouth was open when you hit the ground, it's not likely to cause any problems because the air would just expel out your mouth. The other thing you're going to note in this case is pneumomediastinum is not a life-threatening injury. You're going to be told that it's a condition that you can get and it needs to be monitored for some time and see if it resolves. You're going to hear the doctors tell you that by 8:43 a.m. the next morning they did a chest x-ray of Fatima and the condition had resolved. It was not life-threatening. It was not something they monitored after that point. There was no evidence of it occurring other than for one incident. Likely blunt force trauma, which you'll see in the video, could have been caused in numerous ways. One of them falling to the ground, which is interesting because you're going to see in the video that they didn't really fall to the ground. You're going to see that Isaiah Williams attacked them, attacked Mr. Ali. Him and Fatima were knocked to the ground after hitting a tree. Knocked to the ground where punching and kicking occurred. You're going to see 42 punches, 3 kicks to the head, all done by Isaiah Williams and his friends to Mr. Ali. So, what I'm going to tell you is, I want you to pay close attention. I want you to listen to the evidence. I want you to weigh the evidence. And I want you to compare what people say to what you see. There's going to be a lot of issues that come up in this case that you'll hear. I'm not going to lay everything out for you now, but you'll know when it happens that if you're taking notes, you're paying attention, you're going to see at the end of this case that Mr. Ali is not guilty of the crimes he's charged with. The state is not going to be able to prove to you what's happened. That's their obligation. So pay attention, take notes. At the end of the case, we're going to come back and sum things up, and we're going to ask you to find Mr. Ali not guilty. Thank you.
Thank you. Members of the jury, if you will now please give your full attention to Mr. Larry as he makes opening statement on behalf of defendant Mrs. Ali.
I really hope we get to actually see the video. Sometimes they don't do it, especially if there's teenagers or minors. I really hope we can see it.
When asked what happened with her mom on October 18, 2024, the incident outside of Timberline High School captured on the bus video, Fatima Ali, 17, will tell you, I don't think that my mom was trying to hurt me. I think that she was trying to protect me from the chaos. She appeared worried. She appeared scared. She was worried for me. There is one word that you will hear likely throughout the testimony of these witnesses, one observation that you will probably attach to this incident when you watch the video, and that is chaos. Absolute and utter chaos on a small patch of land next to the bus stop outside of the high school. Now, fortunately, in 2024 and 2025, you are not going to have to rely exclusively on the testimony of teenagers and adults trying to describe for you what they saw in that chaotic moment, what they were focused on, what they happened to see, what they believed they saw. Because in addition to their testimony and their personal observations, you will have the opportunity to compare, contrast, and analyze numerous videos. We are fortunate that the transit bus was pulling up for its stop to pick up its kids on its normal run of the day. And being 2024, that bus was outfitted with approximately 8 cameras, front, back, right side, left side, inside. Now, there are certain cameras that are more valuable to this analysis, certainly the front-facing one, because the bus driver, who you're going to likely hear from first today, will tell you what he saw, how he stopped the bus, and he will walk you through what that camera shows and what we can see. Now, video doesn't capture everything. We all know that. But it provides a baseline. It tells us timing. It tells us who is visible when people arrive on the scene. Now, we are focused on October 18th. That day began at 4 o'clock in the morning. See, my client had a trip planned to travel with her daughter and her younger sons. What my client didn't know is that her 17-year-old daughter did not want to travel with her mom. Despite the decision to simply abandon this trip, she never communicated to her mom. She never communicated to her dad, hey, do I really have to go? I don't know that I really want to go. Can we do something else? Are there alternatives? Instead, she ran away, 4 o'clock in the morning. Didn't have a large amount of money on her, didn't leave a note, didn't tell her parents where she was going, what her plans were, or who she intended to be with. Understandably, Mom and Dad were worried. Their response is they drove around Olympia looking for her. Fatima will tell you that throughout the day, on various occasions, she could see her dad's truck, and before he noticed her, she would hide, get out of view. At the end of the day, or towards the late afternoon, there's the incident at the bus stop. She sees her dad approaching. She lets Isaiah know. Isaiah will tell you that he told his friends, there's her dad, get ready. It's not exactly clear what they're getting ready for, but that is what is said. Now, the state got up an opening, and this will be, throughout trial. We have different perspectives, different takes, different things that get focused on. The state said that there would be testimony that Mr. Ali ran up angry and was upset and yelling. You'll also hear Fatima describe her dad. That he walked up, he was talking in a quiet voice. He wasn't yelling, he wasn't screaming. There's the confrontation, and you will see that the bus video captures it not from the outset, but very close to the outset. You will see the actions of Mr. Ali, Isaiah, his friends, the people standing by, their daughter. You see the bus driver stop. He gets out, attempts to intervene. You will then see the passersby who then stop, attempt to intervene, separate, and hold Mr. Ali on the ground. Around this time, you will then see my client, her mom, come and attempt to help her daughter. Now, we have the video from the bus. There's additional cell phone videos that you will see. You will see her. She is holding onto her daughter. She's not holding onto her neck. Fatima describes her mom as saying, "My daughter, my daughter." You will see Fatima's eyes wide. She is just gathering her wits after this whole chaos and melee when she is under her dad. Her dad is being punched and kicked repeatedly while on top of her. She's in the arms of her mom. Isaiah is attempting to remove her from the scene, pull her away from her mom, and eventually they run into the school. I don't believe that my mom intended to harm me. She was just trying to get me away from the chaos. She looked worried. She was simply saying, "My daughter, my daughter." So, what does my client do? She leaves her husband behind. She runs into the school. Where's my daughter? Where's my daughter? Ladies and gentlemen, that is the accusations against my client. For what she did, attempting to hold her daughter, in the state's eyes, is the allegation of attempted murder. It is that act that is the allegation of assault in the second degree and unlawfully imprisoning her 17-year-old daughter. My client is charged with burglary in the second degree for going into the school to try to find her daughter. Finally, she is charged with a violation of a protection order that she had been served 2 days before that said that she could not have contact with Isaiah, her daughter's boyfriend. You will hear from the officer who served her that order. You may or may not see the video of that interaction. As you probably surmised, my client is not an English speaker. She is served with an order that says that she is to stay away from Isaiah Williams. The officer tells her you can't have contact with him, you can't reach out to him. The order and all of its peculiarities is written in English. My client doesn't read English, she speaks Arabic. She knows some English. The purpose for being there that day was not to have contact with Isaiah, it was to locate her daughter. This case, there's no winners. I appreciate you taking the time and the service to be here and to listen intently. And I'm confident, particularly with the benefit of the video and listening to the witnesses, you'll reach a just decision and conclude that my client is not guilty of the allegations alleged by the state of Washington. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. The state may call its first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls John Denicola.
So if you see me looking down, I'm typing on my other computer just to try to get answers. I
Come
wonder
forward,
what
please.
she did to get a protection order and what Isaiah has to be thinking and his parents, because that is crazy. I hope that comes out during this trial.
Come up here. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be true and correct?
I do.
Please be seated. Ms. Stone, you may inquire when you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Mr. Danicola.
Good morning.
Can you please state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Yes, my name is John Denicola. Last name is spelled D as in David, E-N-I-C-O-L-A.
And Mr. Danicola, are you employed?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I work with Inner City Transit. I was formerly a coach operator. I'm now a transit ambassador.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
I was formerly a coach operator, bus driver.
What's a coach operator?
That's a bus driver.
Oh,
I
okay.
operate the buses.
Okay.
And now I'm a transit ambassador.
Is it a transit ambassador?
Yes, it's
Okay.
a new program.
And did you have a normal route that you drove when you were the coach operator?
Yes, I did.
What was that?
That would have been the Route 68.
And what about in October of 2024? Were you driving that same route at that time?
Yes, I was.
Where does Route 68 go?
Route 68 departs from Lacey Transit Center on Golf Club and 6th, and it goes down Carpenter Road and then down Mullen Road to Roto Road and heads over to the mall, Capitol Mall.
Okay, so based on that Route 68, are you familiar with the area of Timberline High School located at 6120 Mullen Road Southeast?
Yes, I am.
Is that in Lacey, Washington?
Yes, it is.
And were you in or around that area on October 18th, 2024, shortly after 2 p.m.?
Yes, I was.
And what shift were you working in October of 2024?
The shift I was working, well, I actually worked from about 8:40 in the morning till 5:30 in the afternoon.
And were you working that normal shift on October 18th, 2024, then just after 2 p.m.?
Yes, I was.
Did anything of significance occur in that area that you observed on that date and time during your shift?
Yes, it did.
And whereabouts was this event occurring?
At the transit bus stop right outside of Timberline High School.
Okay. And what is the activity like at that bus stop? You said it's a transit stop, so it's not a school bus stop. So who are your clientele, so to speak?
Right. It's just a regular bus stop on the side of the road, and when I come through there, usually I'm supposed to get there right about 2 o'clock-ish, 2:05, and whenever I pull up to this, I always pick up high school students and an occasional adult or two.
Okay. So is it busier than, say, during the week versus on the weekend?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So as you're pulling up to that stop, Mr. Danicola, what do you initially see? What do you initially observe?
As I was approaching the stop, I noticed there was a commotion going on right at the bus stop itself. It looked like a fight going on.
Okay. And did you see who was involved in that fight, whether they were adults or children or something else?
Initially, I thought it was just teenagers being rowdy, but as I got closer to the stop, I noticed there was actually a grown man fighting with some teenage students.
Okay. And when you say a grown man, what does that mean to you, like approximate age-wise?
I'd say approximately probably 40s, early 40s, late 30s.
Okay. And when you say fighting with students, what specifically did you see, or what does that mean to you?
They were throwing punches at each other.
Okay. And did you see him do anything other than throw a punch at someone?
Yes, while they were fighting, while the punches were being thrown, he did lay a punch onto the male student who fell back. And at that time, the adult actually grabbed this female student.
And when you Sorry, when you say grabbed her, what do you mean by that?
He grabbed her by, like, for the front, spun her around, and then put a chokehold on her.
And what happened next?
They fell to the ground, and he held her. A couple of other students came running over, and they were hitting him, trying to get him to stop.
And where are you when this is occurring?
I was in my driver's seat. I had just fully stopped at the bus stop.
Okay. Well, did you do anything or have any immediate response while you're still in the bus?
Yes, I did. As soon as I noticed the fight going on, I noticed he was an adult. I started honking the horn in hopes of getting his attention and possibly getting him to stop.
Was that successful?
It was not successful.
So what happened next?
So I secured my bus by putting in neutral, engaging the emergency brake, and I went out there and confronted the man while he was on the ground holding the female student. And I told him, let her go. And I believe I said it probably 2 or 3 times, let her go.
And how did you say that?
I yelled it. I said, let her go, let her go.
And did he?
He did not.
So what happened next?
When he wouldn't let her go, I bent over, I reached, and I released his grasp. He was not letting go. I had to forcefully remove his grasp from her. When she was free, somebody grabbed her.
I'm going to have you pause. That's okay. I'm going to have you pause for a second. And when you say you were releasing his grasp, what do you mean by that? What does that mean to you?
Well, as he was holding her, he was clutching his arm, and he was choking her. I noticed her eyes rolling into the back of her head. So what I did is I grabbed his hand and I pulled it off. Was able to spread his arms apart, and that's when she got free.
Okay. Why were you telling the man to let her go?
Because obviously she was in distress. Her eyes were rolling into the back of the head. She can tell she was not able to breathe. The look on his face and the way he was squeezing, he was choking her.
And was there anyone else there besides you, the young woman, and the man that you've described?
There were several students around. Once I released his grip from her, another gentleman did come running across, and I believe he kneeled on the adult's chest. But I really, the whole time I was mainly focused on him and the female student.
Okay. Do you remember if there were any other adult women in the area?
I did notice one that caught my eye, and that was mainly because she had her phone out and she was recording, and the male student that he originally had punched away slapped the phone out of her hand and said, you don't even know what's going on here.
Okay.
Objection as to yours.
Sustained.
Mr. Denicola.
Court instruct the jury to disregard.
I've sustained the objection. The jury will disregard the very last portion of the witness's answer related to what someone said.
Mr. Denicola, if I specifically ask you to relay a statement, then do so. But if I don't, do not. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Denicola, when you saw, or you and the crowd, so to speak, were able to get the young female released from the adult male, where was that young male, if you recall, the initial male that got punched?
He was standing at her feet from when she was laying down.
Okay. And where did the young female go, if you saw, after she was removed or released from the older male that had been choking her?
She was moved over about 5 feet away from where the adult male was laying.
And was she standing up on the ground? Do you remember?
Yeah, she was still on the ground, and somebody was holding her.
Okay. And when you talked about the adult female with the phone, and were there any other adult females present?
The person holding her on the ground appeared to be an adult female.
Okay. Can you describe how either the woman holding her on the ground appeared or the woman with the phone appeared?
I cannot describe the woman on the ground because I really didn't focus on her. But the one standing up that was holding the phone, she was wearing, I don't know how to describe it. It's when they wear the black, like the Muslims wear. I'm not sure what it's called though.
Okay. So like a headscarf or a head covering
Right,
of some
exactly,
sort?
and covering. I believe it was covering her face as well.
Okay. And when the adult male, the other adult male came over, and I know we're using adult male and adult female a lot. Do you know any of these individuals?
I do not
Okay.
personally.
The male that came over and assisted by holding down the man who was choking the younger female, did you see where he came from?
He came out of this a pickup truck that pulled into the turning lane, to that turn lane that goes into the high school parking lot.
Okay. What did you do once that male came and I think you used the phrase was kneeling on the 40-year-old man in his 40s on the ground? Where did you go or what did you do next?
I stood up, and the other students that were around the area kept yelling, "Call the police, call the police." So I pulled out my phone, but a student that was standing pretty close to me, I can hear the 911 operator saying the police are on their way. So I just looked, and the female, I thought she was fine, and the male was being detained. So I went back to my bus so I can get the bus out of the way for the first responders to get in.
And when you say you thought the young female was fine, did you ask her any questions? Did you look at her or have any time, I would say, significant time or attention paid to her?
Yes, when I looked over towards her, she was looking at the younger male student. She was looking right at him, whispering something, because it was whispering, it was kind of raspy, so I couldn't make out what she was saying to the young male. And then somebody was holding her, I believe, holding her around her waist. So I wasn't 100% sure what she was saying, but
Did you pay significant attention to it?
I did.
And about how long did you look at that before getting up to leave?
Probably about 15 to 20 seconds, approximately.
And what about the male that had been on the ground during all of this? Was he saying or doing anything while he was choking the female?
No, he did not say a word.
And this may sound like an obvious question, but how could you tell what he was doing was actually choking the female?
It's the position of his arm, the way it was around her neck, and you can see the tension in his hands, and also the reaction from the young female. She wasn't able to say anything. You can tell she could not breathe, and just by the fact that her eyes started to go into the back of her head was telling me that she was being choked.
And what was that male's demeanor? Meaning, was he awake and conscious? Was he talking? How did he appear to you in terms of his physical demeanor?
I don't recall him saying anything, but his eyes were wide open, and he was focused at this task at hand. He was focused on what he was doing and nothing else.
What about the strikes that you've described from the teens that were standing around? Were those effective in any way?
Not really, actually. The punches that the young adult was swinging did not have very much of an effect on the adult male.
Do you want to make approach?
You may.
Mr. Denicola, I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibits 1 through 4. I'm going to ask you to look at those silently to yourself for a moment, please, sir, and then look up at me when you're done. Mr. Denicola, do you recognize what I've handed you?
Yes, I do.
What are those, sir?
These are aerial photos of the area around Timberline High School.
And do those appear to be a true and accurate representation of that area as it appeared to you on October 18th of 2024?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, at this time, the state moves to admit State's Exhibits 1 through 4.
Any objection, Mr. Kading?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Larry?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Exhibits 1 through 4 shall be admitted.
Your Honor, permission to publish.
You may publish.
I'll take those back from you, sir. Thank you. And Mr. Denicola, can you just orient us, please, to, we'll give that a moment to,
You indicate what exhibit you're publishing, please.
yes, Your Honor, State's Exhibit 1. Give it a second to autofocus. There it goes. And actually, there it goes. May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
I'm going to give you a pointer. That button is the cursor up top. You have to hold it for a second before it connects. You see?
Okay, thank you.
Some button to circle. Mr. Denicola, we're looking at State's Exhibit 1. Can you please describe to the jury the area that we're looking at?
Yes. Okay. So right over here, this is the Timberline High School.
And so just for the record, Mr. Denicola, remember that everything we're doing is written in a record. So I would ask you to describe on the photograph itself where you're pointing. So you identified a building about upper center of that photograph, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Upper center, and then about on the bottom center of the photograph is our transit stop, and you can see it by the little bus symbol there,
Okay.
and that's Mullen Road.
And that's Mullen Road there?
Yes.
Is Mullen Road one-way, two-way? What kind of road is Mullen Road?
Mullen Road is a two-way street, 2 lanes, one lane in each direction.
Are there turn lanes associated with Mullen Road?
There is. Let me get this over here. There's a turn lane right by the bus stop here at the lower center.
Okay.
And it's a left turn lane to get into the parking lot.
Thank you. Looking at State's Exhibit 2, and what are we looking at here, sir?
This is a closer zoomed in photo of aerial view of the Timberline High School area with the bus stop now at the lower left-hand corner of the screen.
Okay. And State's Exhibit 3, what are we looking at in this photograph, sir?
It's a wider photo of the same area at Timberline High School with the bus stop now right in the center of the screen, showing that both lanes of Mullen Road and a parking lot that is right across the street was showing on the bottom left corner of the screen.
Okay. And then State's Exhibit 4.
And this is a much closer shot of the bus stop itself in front of the Timberline High School, which is shown kind of left center of the bottom screen here with Mullen Road on the side as well.
And Mr. Denicola, when you stopped your bus, where did you stop and park that bus at compared to this photograph?
The bus will pull up, and right over here we have the bus stop sign. We call that a lollipop because there's no bench or no shelter. So the front bumper of the bus would usually stop right about here,
Okay.
which is on the bottom left-hand screen, just left of the little bus symbol.
And the incident that you have described to the jury, where on this photograph did you observe those events taking place?
When I first approached, the commotion was happening right next to our I call the lollipop, the bus stop itself, the bus stop sign, which is right here at the lower left part of the screen is where it all started, where I came in and saw it, I mean.
Did it stay in that location or did it move?
It did not. As the fight progressed, it actually moved back further west on Mullen, just about 10 to 15 feet away from my bus stop sign.
Do you recall where about you made contact with that group once you exited your bus?
Yes, it was right about there, about 10 to 15 feet away from the bus stop sign itself.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Denicola, do you recall what I know you've described the teenagers at the scene as throwing strikes, throwing punches while the man was choking the young female. Do you recall what their demeanors were at the time?
The teenagers?
Yes.
They were excitable. They were screaming, so they appeared to be scared.
When you described the young female as being in the arms of the older female, did you see exactly where her arms were on her?
Not exactly, because again, I really didn't focus that much on her.
I know you indicated that you had moved your bus for law enforcement to be able to come in. Did you see law enforcement or hear law enforcement arrive?
Yes, I did. Just before I departed the stop, I could hear sirens faintly in the distance. And as I drove away and I approached, got closer to Ruddle Road, so between the high school itself and the cemetery is where I saw a Lacey police car coming down eastbound on Mullen Road.
Okay, and how long would you say total you were on scene of this incident or at the bus stop before getting back into the bus and restarting your route?
It felt like a few minutes. I really wouldn't be able to say exactly how long.
Okay. And what did you do upon getting back in your bus? What happened next?
When I got on the bus, I told these kids that were right outside the bus, okay, come on, let's go. The police are on their way. And I made sure all the kids, they got on the bus, and I shut my doors and I drove off.
Okay, at any point did you make a report into law enforcement or your agency?
Yes, I did. As I drove away, and I was trying to make sense in my mind of what's going on, I did request a call back from my dispatch so I can report what had happened.
Okay. And did you make a report to your dispatch about what happened?
Yes, I did. I made a report over our radio, two-way radio, and informed them what I had witnessed and what I had done.
Did you finish your route that day then?
I did not finish my route.
Why not?
Another supervisor, we called them the road supervisors, they're out on the road driving around, called me on the bus. He asked me to wait for him once I arrived at Tumwater Square. When I got to Tumwater Square and I waited for him, when he arrived, he asked me how was I doing. I told him I was okay. He asked if I could finish my route. I said I should be able to. He said, no, your voice is shaking, your adrenaline's pumping, I don't think you should finish this route. So they brought a relief out there for me, and he drove me back to the shop, and I had to write a report as to what happened, and then they let me go home.
Okay. How long have you been driving buses for IT?
13 years.
Are you aware whether those buses have any video surveillance or cameras associated with them?
Yes, they do.
And where are those cameras located, if you know?
We have about 6 cameras inside the bus recording all the activities going on, and then I believe we have about 4 of them on the outside of the bus.
And
Right.
when you say on the outside, where are the ones on the outside pointed or directed?
We have 2 up front that are, one's pointed out in front, seeing the road and everything in front of the bus. The other one that's up front is pointed at the driver itself. And then we have 2 one on each side that sees everything going on the sides of the buses.
And how does that camera record? Meaning, is that something that is manually operated by you? Is it something that just runs whether the vehicle is on or off, or something else?
The cameras are continuously running while the bus is running. When we first start them up in the morning, it takes about 3 minutes before the hard drive warms up, and then the cameras come live and they will stay on for the entire shift, as long as the bus is continuously running.
What about when you turn the bus off?
When the bus turns off, the cameras stay on for about another 2 hours after the bus is turned off.
And where is that bus footage recorded or maintained?
The recordings on the bus, actually, there's a hard drive on the bus where it's recorded onto the hard drive itself, and that's where they stay.
So if you want to access that footage, do you have to access it from the bus directly, or is there another means for gathering it?
They can pull the hard drive off of the bus, but if the bus is still in service, they can remotely upload the footage.
And when you say they, who is they?
That would be we have supervisors that are responsible for pulling videos for any sort of an event, and they have the technology up at the office, and they can just tap right into the bus, and it just uploads the videos.
What is the purpose of having cameras on the bus?
They're mainly for safety reasons,
Safety for who?
for passengers and for the driver.
If that footage is pulled or it's accessed, how does one get a copy of that footage?
In order to get a copy of any kind of footage on any of our buses, you have to submit what's called a public records request. And you can just go online to innercitytransit.com and you can fill out the request there.
And so if that footage is pulled, do you know how long it's stored or maintained for?
If footage is pulled because of an event or if it's been requested, they keep them for, I believe it's 3 years. They will keep them.
Do you have any ability to edit or modify that camera footage in any way?
No, I do not.
Would you know how to do that if that was an option to you?
No, I don't.
Okay. Have you ever had to review camera footage from your bus before?
Yes, I have.
About how often?
I'd probably review footage about 3 to 4 times a year.
And in those instances, did that footage appear to be true and accurate reflection of those events as you recalled them occurring?
Yes.
Is there anything about your prior interactions with the bus's video system that would make you doubt the accuracy of that footage or that it had been manipulated in any way?
No.
On October 18th, 2024, was the bus you were driving equipped with the camera system you've described previously?
Yes, it was.
And was that camera system recording and operating in the same fashion that you've previously described?
Yes, it was.
And are you aware whether your bus's video surveillance system captured any footage of the incident in this case about which you've been testifying?
Yes, it did.
And have you had an opportunity to review that footage prior to your testimony today?
Yes, I have.
And based on your review of that footage, did it appear to you to be a true and accurate reflection of the events or a portion of the events as they appeared to you as they occurred on October 18th of 2024?
Yes.
Hi, Richard. You may.
Mr. Denicola, I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 34. Ask you to review that silently to yourself, and then look up at me when you're done, please. Do you recognize what I've handed you there, sir?
Yes, I do.
What is that?
There's a thumb drive that has the video showing all shots from the camera footage from that day of the event.
And how do you know that's what that is?
Because after I viewed it, I initialed and dated the tag on the thumb drive.
And when and where did you have an opportunity to review that thumb drive specifically prior to today to confirm the contents of it?
I reviewed it this past Saturday on July 12th back in the prosecutor's office.
And based on your review of State's Exhibit 34, did that appear to you to be a true and accurate copy of footage of your bus's video cameras capturing those events from October 18th of 2024?
Yes, it was.
Your Honor, this time the state would move to admit and publish State's Exhibit 34.
Any objection, Mr. Keating?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Larry?
No, Your Honor.
34 shall be admitted. You may publish.
Do you want this one?
Okay, Mr. Denicola, I'm going to start first with all of the views. I'm going to ask you to orient the jury to what they're looking at on State's Exhibit 34. Can you explain kind of what the video setup looks like here, please, sir?
Yes.
So just orient the jury if you don't mind. What are we looking
Okay.
at in terms of that setup?
On the setup is all the camera angles that are on our buses. On the upper left-hand corner is the camera that's right above the driver's seat. Right next to that is the front portion of the passenger seating area. Next to that one is the rear area. Then we have the rear exit door. The one behind that one, that is a side of that's the curb side of the bus camera. The bottom left corner is showing the rear of the bus seating area. The one next to that is our street side camera. Next to that one is again another angle of the rear seating area of a bus. Then second to last we have the angle showing the driver's side window, and the last one is the front camera, front view.
Okay, so if we're working our way through these camera systems, at the very top of the screen, is there a navigation pane?
Yes, there is.
Okay, and if I click down on that navigation pane, what does that do?
That'll show all the different camera angles that you can choose.
So if you wanted to see, for example, just one camera angle, is it fair to say you would click off all of the other views?
That is correct.
Okay, and then if you wanted to watch only two camera angles, you would just have those two playing and click off any other views that you didn't want to see.
That is correct.
Okay. And at the very bottom, what are we looking at the navigation pane on the bottom underneath each of those camera views?
Those are the timestamps.
Okay, what about above the timestamp first?
Above the timestamp.
So if you
Are you
have
talking
the
about-
arrows going in multiple directions, what are
What?
those?
Those are the play button, reverse button, and pause buttons.
Okay, and underneath of that, do you have the ability to watch something in normal speed, a slower speed, or a faster speed?
Yes, you do. Right underneath the buttons, there's another drop-down arrow where you have the option of choosing the speed that you want it to play at.
Okay, so if you clicked on that, you could see those, is that correct?
That is correct.
And the front audio button here, what is that?
That's telling you which speaker that you're listening to at that time. And at this time, it's clicked onto the front audio.
Okay, and you talked about the date timestamp at the bottom. Is that this white block here?
Yes, it is.
And what about this green block and the green bar running across the bottom? What are we looking at there?
That's the timeline. It follows the video as it's playing, so it lets you know exactly what time you're watching the video at.
Okay. So if we click on the road view specifically, what view is that?
That one is the front of the bus, facing outward in the direction that the bus is traveling.
Okay. So if I double click on that, it gets big, correct?
That is correct.
Do these all, as I unclick those buttons to watch the front view, or the road view, excuse me, are all of those cameras running simultaneously? Meaning, are they all the contemporaneous views, so they're synced with each other?
Yes, they are. They all run at the same time.
Okay. So Mr. Denicola, I'm going to play States Exhibit 34, the road view, and is that identified in this upper left-hand corner here of the video?
Yes, it is.
Is that the same for each of those videos?
That it is.
Okay. And then I have some questions to ask you after this is done, okay?
Yes.
And playing it in normal speed, is that correct?
Yes.
Timberline High School. They're on their way.
All right, Mr. Denicola, I'm stopping the video at 2:16. Maybe. There it goes, 2:16:11. Is that where you've driven away from the events that occurred?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Does the video go on to just capture more of your drive?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Mr. Denicola, what view now is, I'm going to ask to reshow 34, please. What view are we looking at now?
That's the curbside camera on the bus.
And
Sure.
so that the side that pulls up to the stop itself.
Yes, it is.
We've got to get back to doing what's expected of us as free citizens in this democracy. That means being tolerant, being respectful.
I'm sorry, whoever is playing something needs to step outside the courtroom immediately, please.
I thought that noise and talking was part of the video. Cannot believe somebody had their phone on and had that playing.
Mr. Denicola, this starts at what time is on the date timestamp? Starting from the beginning of the video, but what time is that?
It's 2:12 and 52 seconds.
And is that the same with all of the videos for the time start?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And I started playing that at Stopping at 21603. Mr. Denicola, do you recognize anyone in any of those views that we've watched so far?
Yeah.
Who do you recognize?
See my reflective vest, high visibility vest that we have to wear, so you can see that. And I'm the only one on the bus that was wearing one. So that's how I can tell that was me.
Who else do you recognize, if anyone?
They're muting names.
I also
because
recognize
they're all kids.
the gentleman that was holding him down.
Okay. We're gonna watch a couple more, and then I've got some more questions for you. Okay?
Actually, Ms. Stone, I think it's about time for us to take our morning recess. Members of the jury, in just a moment, the bailiffs are going to come forward and lead you back to the jury room. Our morning recess will be approximately 15 minutes. Thank you very much for your time and attention this morning. Please remember all of the instructions I've previously given you.
We're gonna skip ahead. It's crazy how they went from being worried because they didn't see or talk to her that day, and so worried they went looking and he found her, and then he tried to kill her. I mean, their whole defense of being concerned and worried is out the window.
Please be seated. Members of the jury, we're going to continue with direct examination. Ms. Stone, you may continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, Mr. Denicola, when we left off, we had just pulled up the roadside view and indicated the start time for all of these videos was 2:12:52. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And I'm hitting start or play on the roadside. And when we say roadside, maybe it's obvious this is just the other side of the bus from the curbside. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Timberline High School.
stopping the video at 2:16:08. Mr. Denicola, which video view is now shown on State's Exhibit 34?
That's the front left camera.
Okay. And moving that back to the beginning, to 12:52, and playing that from the beginning.
Approaching Timberline High School.
Yeah, they're on their way.
And I've stopped that video, the front left view at 2:16:02, is that correct?
Yes.
And Mr. Denicola, to this point, we've seen the initial roadside view, is that fair to say?
That is correct.
And we've also seen some views of people coming and going from other camera views, is that an accurate statement?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Did you know any of those individuals
No.
in this event?
No, I did not.
And what view is this, Mr. Denicola?
That's the view from the camera right above the driver's seat.
Okay. Still State's Exhibit 34, correct?
Yes.
And starting that video at 2:12:52 from this front door view.
Approaching Timberline High School.
turn the volume so low. It's bad enough we can't actually see it, but now we can't hear it.
Let's go. Yeah, they're on their way.
Okay, stopping that video at 2:15:58. Is that correct, Mr. Denicola?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Mr. Denicola, may I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
Mr. Denicola, I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibits 5 through 33. I'm going to ask you to look at those silently to yourself and then look up at me when you're done, okay?
Yes.
We need like Jeopardy music or something.
Mr. Denicola, do you recognize what I've handed you in State's Exhibits 5 through 33?
Yes, I do.
And what are those, sir?
These are still photos from the video that we just watched.
And do those appear to be a true and accurate representation of still photos from that video?
Yes, they are.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would move to admit State's Exhibits 5 through 33.
Mr. Kading, any objection?
No objection.
Mr. O'Leary? Exhibits 5 through 33 shall be admitted.
Thank you. May I retrieve those, Your Honor?
You may.
permission to publish?
You may.
All right, we are at a stopping point. Day 2 is about to come on in about 9 minutes. So if there were anybody that ended up taking the stand and we haven't seen them yet, I'll put it back on later. I'll do a part 2. Otherwise, I will be back on here in 8 minutes now. All right, thank you for watching.